Dumbo, and even the elephants and like the animals themselves, like they looked really, really good. I really liked, I mean, Dumbo's the cutest animated character of all time, next to Jar Jar Binks, you know?
Jesus.
What's going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
And this is the previews, everyone's favorite part of the movie. This week, we decided to go ahead and check out Tim Burton's Dumbo, his reimagination of the 1941 Disney animated classic, of course, by the same name, Dumbo.
Yes, and it is starring Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Eva Green, Nico Parker, and Finley Hobbins.
And, of course, Alan Arkin makes more of a cameo in this film as well.
Yeah, definitely a cameo.
So I'm going to go ahead. I start off all these reviews with a question, Zach. So I'm going to start off this one again with a question. Is this classic Tim Burton, or is this another ruined animated classic like you do with Alice in Wonderland?
I think it's right in the middle.
Oof.
I think it's definitely right in the middle. This was nowowhere near as bad as Alice in Wonderland.
You're a lot nicer to this movie than I am. Is it because Dumbo's so cute?
He was adorable. Honestly, I feel like that made me enjoy the movie probably a lot more than I probably should have. Dumbo was adorable. One of the cutest creatures to ever be put on screen.
I couldn't agree with you more on that. But before we go into, I guess, the thick of the review, let's go over the story. Surprisingly, I have never seen the 1941 animated classic. It's one of the very few Disney movies that I've never been, I guess, interested in for some reason.
Yeah, I'm surprised you just told me that today. I did not know you've never seen it before.
I've never seen it before.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid when we had it on VHS, and I have not watched it since the VHS.
I've ridden the ride many of times, and I plan on riding it again very soon. But yeah, I've never seen it. So I guess in comparison to this reimagination and the animated one, what did you feel like? Did it go along the same lines, or was it different like Alice in Wonderland was?
No, it was very similar. It was not to the T, but it was very similar because the original is just over an hour, and this movie is 2 hours. And I will say, literally at that hour point, was very, very similar. And then the complete second act was all brand new.
I enjoyed that first half, but then the second half just got a little too insane for me. And I really do blame a lot of the insanity. And I love him, but man, he's hit a dry spell. Tim Burton. Like, dude, what did you do?
The part that was bugging me a lot throughout this movie had many flashes of greatness.
It did.
And many flashes of great directing and music. I mean, the music was great.
Danny
Elfman again was amazing, and I will say probably the scene where Dumbo first fly is probably the best scene in the movie. It was you could sounds very cheesy, but Disney magic.
Yeah.
It was great.
Seeing those simple little details in the magic that you saw, like I saw that in the sets, right? Like I was like, oh, this is cool. This is Tim Burton, right? Now, I didn't really go into this movie thinking that it was going to be 100% Tim Burton. Like, honestly, the perfect movie for him to direct was Alice in Wonderland, like these Disney remakes, and he messed that up. And I thought he messed up this one too, because it just didn't feel Disney in the second half.
No, it didn't.
It didn't. One thing that I didn't know until I read, the Wikipedia page, I did not know that Dumbo's mom and Dumbo got together at the end. I thought Dumbo's mom just went away and you're like, oh, okay, bye. Like everyone says that's like one of the saddest scenes in cinema history, really, let alone animated.
That scene is definitely known, but I think the biggest thing that is known from that movie, and what I was definitely most excited for, and that was the pink elephant scene. And that's where I'll start with, I guess, I was so mad at that scene.
Zach, his jaw was open, but not in a good way. He's like, this is it.
In the original, in the animation, Dumbo and Timothy end up getting drunk, and that's where he has all these crazy visuals. I know probably these days
you can't do that.
You can't do that. I understand that. I was not expecting them to get drunk and have all these visuals. I don't care what they did to get the pink elephant. I don't care if he was practicing flying and just hits his head.
Yeah.
I don't care. But the way that the pink elephant scene happened, not only did I not like the way it was executed, but it was no visual marvel that I was expecting from a visual director like Tim Burton. I wanted to see all the different colors. I wanted to see the multiple elephant. I wanted to see Just with the modern day technology that we have today, a scene like that has never been replicated. Exactly. And I was just very underwhelmed, and was very sad.
Yeah. Now, one thing we could give Tim Burton a lot of blame to, these kid actors. Now,
Actress. Actress.
Okay. What was her name?
Nico Parker.
Nico Parker.
First film she's ever been in, and I think hopefully her last. I'm sorry, Nico. You are awful.
Yeah, and we don't like shooting kids down, but she literally, like, we would be involved in a scene and she would completely take us out of it. I know her purpose, but I didn't understand her purpose. Like, in the beginning of the film, this isn't a spoiler alert or anything like that, she's into science, right? And that goes away to the wayside, like, real quick. She's just so emotionless, and don't get me wrong, like, I blame her to an extent, but I blame Tim Burton more because he couldn't get emotion out of her. There's these huge flames, like, in her face, like, stuff is starting to fall down, chaos is ensuing, and she literally just puts the feather up into Dumbo, and I'm like, okay, maybe we'll get something out of her. She goes, "Here, Dumbo, take it. I believe in you." I'm like, are you kidding me?
And it's just that's how it was every scene.
Every single time.
I want to be a scientist. Oh, Dumbo, fly.
Mrs. Jumbo.
Mrs. Jumbo, we miss you. Dumbo wants you.
It was getting too much.
Just every time I feel like when I was fully getting invested in it,
she'd take us right out.
You just go a snippet of her just saying something so monotone and just so
stupid.
Yeah. And it just took me out of the scene.
The rest of the cast, though, was pretty solid. The other kid actor
was fine.
Yeah, he was fine. He was
Danny DeVito was fantastic.
Yeah, Danny DeVito, I'm telling you right now, if he is not a ringleader in any other movie, he needs to be. He needs to be typecasted as a ringleader because he was great. Colin Farrell also was, great.
He was fine. He was good.
He was good. He had a very interesting backstory. We won't give it away, but I thought that was good. Eva Green, she didn't really do a lot, but she was still pretty cool. I don't like...
Super fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. Overall, what are you giving it?
I'm going to give it 2.5 creepy robot mannequins out of 5.
Wow. 2.5. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to go lower than that. I'm actually going to go ahead and go 2 disappointing child actors out of 5.
Well, yeah, I guess that's it, Movie Maniacs. Again, be sure to hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Previews.